All right, everyone, another day, another crazy hydrogen Hillary quote. This time she's saying that female voters abandoned her for Trump because men pressured them. That is, strong independent women who don't need no man, they were convinced by men to, vote for Trump. Despite the fact that, they were smart enough, because women are always smarter than men. They realized that Trump was an evil, tyrannical, Hitler-esque bigot. But then they're like, yeah, but my boyfriend will beat me or something, and so I've got to go cast a vote for Donald Trump. Today in stupidity and la la land, we have exhibit number one, Hillary Clinton, who doesn't know what she's talking about, never has known what she's talking about. Look, she ran a shitty campaign. This is like the dozenth time I've had to say this. That's why she lost. That and the Obama economy that didn't help the Rust Belt, which really sets the stage for Trump taking the Rust Belt. That's not even really Hillary's fault so much, except maybe she never held any rallies in those areas because she sees small town Americans like Ma and Pa America as below her. It's obvious she also sees blacks as below her, considering the fact that the only time she talks to them, she waves around Tabasco sauce as though it makes her special. Now, it makes her look like one of those southern plantation women with the big white house that refer to every minority as the help. That's honestly what Hillary Clinton seems like to me. Now, I was saying, females would have voted for me overwhelmingly, but their boyfriends told them not to. I'm not seeing that as reality. I'm seeing that as an elaborate fantasy designed to deflect from the fact that Hillary Clinton didn't run a good campaign. Look, when you outraise and outspend your opponent 4-1, you probably at that point should have an advantage. Assuming the polling was legitimate at all, she should have been like 5-6 points ahead. Remember that Union video she did where she's like, why aren't I 50 points ahead? Well, my bigotry, Trump fools people. He's too charismatic. Well, yeah, that could be a problem, Hillary, because you're not. Now, the other day, speaking of reasons why Hillary Clinton lost, she fell down the stairs at an Indian temple during her visit there. Now this is around the same time she's making these crazy quotes. Maybe the Hindu gods didn't like her for trying to start a nuclear war. It's pretty low karma. So they tried to do a slip and fall thing. Didn't quite work. Like she was being helped down the stairs and still slipped, which is the funniest part. That's another reason why she lost. You'll remember the potato sack van incident on 9/11, no less, where, oh, wow, it's so warm today. Oh, yeah, I guess I better just, pass out randomly. And then it turns out, of course, they say, well, she had a cold. She wasn't feeling well already. Then they're like, well, she had heat stroke. And then they're like, oh, yeah, it was flu, and she's got pneumonia. There's a picture from an hour later of her on the street walking around meeting with people, but, she had pneumonia. And she's campaigning so hard, holding a rally every week is really difficult. Look, her campaign schedule was more lackadaisical than my interview schedule as a YouTuber. So don't tell me about her, putting herself through too much stress. Trump, meanwhile, 3-1 has an advantage. He's holding 2 or 3 rallies in a fucking day, 6 days a week, and then the 7th day is the Sabbath, so he has to go golfing. So he's holding upwards of 15 rallies in a week, maybe 18, sometimes pushing 20. She's holding 1 or 2 rallies in a week and then a fundraiser where Goldman Sachs comes, listens to her spout off and gives her, a couple million for her campaign because somehow it's not problematic at all. As long as it's held in the form of a dinner, the individual cap is lifted, I guess. You can pay $1,000 million a plate and it's okay somehow. I don't know exactly how, but it just is. You're saying that she's putting herself through too much stress. Meanwhile, Trump's the one that's supposedly in poor health. I don't fucking think so. I think Hillary Clinton's on her fucking last leg. I think she's demented too. I don't think it's normal. It's not mentally normal for a person to blame everyone else for their problems for an entire year. Okay, maybe they're a spoil sport, they're a sore loser, they like to make excuses, they don't like to own up, so for a week they do a pity me party. Okay, okay, some people are like that. But a whole year? More than a year now. It's been more than a year now. She's had months and months and months to calm down and say, well, yeah, ultimately it's my fault. Fuck it, I'm going to go get drunk. And she never does that. It doesn't make any sense the way she's acting. Any other time, grandma's been acting a little bit funny lately. She keeps falling down. She can't stop blaming other people for her problems, and she's throwing plates at people. Yeah, I think we might need to look into this a little bit, don't you think? I think so. Yeah, Hydrogen Hillary. No, she lost because she's unlikable, and she ran a shitty 90s style campaign. Look, it's like a lumbering Neanderthal in the age of flight. That's how her campaign was. We've seen this before. Mitt Romney's campaign was sort of behind the times at the time too. Like, Obama had sort of begun to embrace social media, and Romney was still like, oh yeah, let me check my dial-up connection here. And then Hillary Clinton, she goes back a step further. She's like, oh no, I'm just going to go on cable TV. They'll be rooting for me, and some radio programs mainly. Avoiding the internet. Her idea of being internet savvy is Pokemon Go to the polls. Not a great idea. It just doesn't work. And the biggest problem with Hillary, this is one problem the Democrats may not have in the future. Hillary Clinton notoriously doesn't want other people to tell her there's a problem. They want her to spit shine her shoes and bow before her and say, you're perfect, everything you're doing is perfect. Meanwhile, she actually will project this off on Trump. Well, he thinks he's holier than thou, and he's like, he doesn't have anything in common with the average American. That's projection. That's the way Hillary Clinton thinks. When she goes on to the all-black cast radio show and starts rambling about her hot sauce and speaking with a southern y'all style twang, that's bullshit, Hillary. That's why you lost. It wasn't just female voters that abandoned you. Look, you had less of a vote share among Hispanics and black voters too than the last time around. Supposedly you're running against Hitler, and he's managing to get a few extra points on the Hispanic vote over Romney, who claimed to be Mexican. So you got some problems there, and it's going to keep being a problem. It's going to keep being a problem because Hillary Clinton is still very visible as one of the head Democrats. And she's going to remain that way so long as she's above ground, until she is no longer physically capable of coming out and making a speech, by hook or by crook. That's the point at which she stops being the figurehead of the DNC. She is, in a de facto sense, the head of the Democratic Party. As the past candidate, the former First Lady, former Secretary of State, former Senator, as someone who's run twice now for the presidency, and who was the only one actually very vocally opposing Trump because she was fucking running against him, in that sense, politically speaking, again, the de facto head of the party. As a person with an enormous amount of leverage within the party, even if her husband has totally fallen out of favor, she is the face of the Democratic movement. Who else is it? Can you name another Democrat who's more iconic than Hillary Clinton right now as far as being the symbol of the Democratic Party? And a lot of Democrats wish it was Bernie Sanders. He's not a Democrat, and he got schlonged by the DNC. He's not the head of it. Perez doesn't do anything. Perez doesn't say anything. Perez was reigning over a DNC that's so broke, how does he even afford to cut him his paycheck? I don't even know. They must be getting their money somewhere else in order to keep functioning, because they're not getting it from grassroots donations. They've been deep in the red now for over a year. They've run out of money. They are broke. You look at the Pennsylvania election there. Trump could have swung that election with one more visit, probably. That's, by the way, a cautionary tale about getting out and voting. By the way, it looks like it's going to be so fucking goddamn close. It's going to be impossible to tell who actually won. They're not going to be able to seat anyone. It's going to be an automatic recount. Definitely, they're going to recount the vote. Who knows who won? It's probably going to be within 1,000 votes. It's insane. You get a problem within the Democratic Party. Big problems. When Hillary Clinton won't shut up, it becomes a problem. You almost wonder if Trump is paying her under the table to keep her saying weird shit. Like, here, Hillary, okay, here's your monthly $1 million. Come out and say a couple more stupid things so that it gets in the news, and so people will be like, what are the Democrats thinking, not muzzling her? It creates a problem for them. I almost want to think that Trump is still friendly with the Clintons, that all of that is a floor show, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna say put her in jail, you come out and insult me and then say weird shit, and it'll be all good. That's sort of his MO. Doing stuff like that is sort of a Trump MO. Maybe he is. Who knows? But Hillary Clinton doesn't know what she's talking about with regards to female voters. No, female voters abandoned you because you were a shitty candidate. That's like saying, oh, well, any male that didn't vote for Trump, their girlfriend told them they wouldn't get any for a week or a month or whatever if they voted for evil Donald. Well, you know, generally speaking, they're going to go into the voting booth alone anyways. Oh, yeah, I voted for Clinton, honey. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I voted for Donnie. Don't worry, I voted for your big boy Trump. And then, you know, actually voted for Clinton or Jill Stein, more likely. A lot of them probably voted for Jill's. Gary Johnson. It's like, oh, Hillary Clinton's offering to break the glass ceiling, which doesn't help, me as a regular female voter, by the way. But Gary Johnson's offering me all the weed brownies that I can eat. This is a difficult choice. Oh, and Trump is saying he'll save the economy because it's clearly not working right now. This is a hard choice. Man, Hillary Clinton's making a compelling argument with her lack of a Y chromosome. That's about all. Peace out.